Ernesto Che Guevara, a symbol of rebellion and revolutionary spirit, continues to ignite debates half a century after his death. His journey from a medical student to a global icon of resistance is a tale of idealism, struggle, and sacrifice. Born into a middle-class family in Argentina, Che's exposure to social injustices in Latin America during his early travels profoundly shaped his worldview. His famous assertion, "I am not a liberator, liberators do not exist, the people liberate themselves," encapsulates his philosophy. Che Guevara remains a polarizing figure, celebrated by some as a hero who fought for the oppressed and denounced by others as a ruthless terrorist. Despite the controversies, Che's iconic image, captured in a photograph by Alberto Corda, has become a universal symbol of struggle and defiance. This image not only immortalizes him, but also perpetuates his ideological legacy, inspiring new generations to question and challenge the status quo. These debates ensure that Che's story remains relevant and compelling in the contemporary world. Ernesto Guevara was born on June 14, 1928, in Rosario, Argentina, into a family with leftist leanings. His father, a civil engineer, and his mother, a teacher, fostered a home environment filled with discussions on literature, politics, and philosophy. Despite suffering from asthma, Che was an active and adventurous child, which later translated into his restless nature as an adult. His education at the University of Buenos Aires, where he studied medicine, exposed him to the disparities in health and social conditions deeply affecting him. This growing awareness compelled him to think critically about the social structures in place and the possibilities of reform or revolution to address these injustices. Rather than settling into a conventional medical career, he chose to embark on a path that would eventually lead him to become one of the most influential and controversial figures of the 20th century. His decision to explore Latin America by motorcycle in 1952 set the stage for his revolutionary activities. The Motorcycle Diaries, a memoir documenting Che Guevara's early travels across South America with his friend Alberto Granado, is more than just a travelogue. It is a journey of self-discovery and radicalization, capturing the formative moments that transformed Che from a medical student into a committed revolutionary. As Che and Alberto traversed the diverse landscapes of the continent, they encountered indigenous communities and marginalized groups living in dire poverty. These encounters were pivotal, challenging Che's perceptions and deepening his understanding of the structural inequalities that plagued these regions. One of the most significant experiences during this journey was Che's time at a leper colony in Peru. Working as a volunteer doctor, Che was moved by the compassion and resilience of the leprosy patients, which reinforced his growing commitment to using his medical skills for the benefit of those most in need. The Motorcycle Diaries ends with Che's reflective notes on his transformation, stating, "I wanted to cure the greater disease of injustice." This declaration marked the end of his early travels and the beginning of his life as a revolutionary. In 1956, Che Guevara joined Fidel Castro and a group of Cuban exiles in Mexico who were planning to overthrow the Cuban dictator, Fulgencio Batista. This meeting was crucial as it aligned Che with a concrete revolutionary movement, setting the stage for his active participation in the Cuban Revolution. Che's involvement in the Cuban Revolution was marked by his rapid ascent from doctor to commander in the rebel army. One of his notable achievements was leading a pivotal attack on Santa Clara in 1958, which ultimately led to the collapse of the Batista regime. Beyond his military contributions, Che also played a key role in shaping post-revolution Cuba. He was instrumental in implementing agrarian reforms and setting up literacy programs aimed at improving the lives of the rural poor. However, Che's methods during and after the revolution attracted criticism, reflecting the complexities of revolutionary leadership. Che's contributions to the Cuban Revolution thus left a mixed legacy, characterized by significant social reforms, but also marked by harsh tactics. After solidifying his position in the Cuban government, Che Guevara's revolutionary aspirations extended beyond the island. In 1965, he secretly traveled to Congo to support the local forces fighting against the pro-Western government. This mission, however, was short-lived and fraught with challenges, leading to the mission's failure and Che's return to Cuba disillusioned. Undeterred by the setbacks in Congo, Che set his sights on Bolivia. In 1966, he began organizing a guerrilla group to overthrow the Bolivian government, believing that Bolivia could be the spark for a continent-wide revolution. The harsh conditions, the unfamiliar terrain, and the lack of local support significantly hampered the guerrillas' efforts. The mission ended tragically in October 1967, when Che was captured by the Bolivian army and executed the following day. The circumstances of his capture and death turned Che into a martyr for the cause, amplifying his status as a symbol of resistance. The final days of Che Guevara in Bolivia were a stark contrast to the earlier successes he had experienced in Cuba. Captured in the Jura ravine after a series of debilitating skirmishes, Che was wounded and exhausted. On October 9, 1967, Che was executed in a small schoolhouse in the village of La Higuera. His last moments were marked by a defiant acceptance of his fate, reportedly saying to his executioner, "Shoot, coward, you're only going to kill a man." The news of Che's death and the subsequent display of his body were meant to serve as a deterrent to those who idolized him and his cause. Instead, these actions immortalized him as a martyr in the eyes of his supporters. It wasn't until 1997 that his remains were discovered and returned to Cuba, where he was reburied with full honors in a mausoleum in Santa Clara. Che's death, far from eradicating his influence, amplified his status as a symbol of resistance against oppression and injustice worldwide. One of the most enduring aspects of Che Guevara's legacy is his iconic image captured in a photograph by Alberto Corda in 1960. This image, known as Guerrillero Heroico, shows Che at a memorial service looking intrepid with his beret adorned with a star. The photo has transcended its original context to become a global symbol of rebellion and revolutionary zeal. The widespread reproduction of Corda's photograph on posters, t-shirts and various other merchandise has played a significant role in perpetuating Che's image as a romantic figure of rebellion. Despite concerns about the commercialization of revolutionary icons, the image continues to inspire artists, activists and revolutionaries around the world. The enduring appeal of this image lies in its ability to evoke a sense of idealism and the possibility of change, resonating with those who seek justice and equality. The power of Che's image is also a testament to the role of art and media in shaping historical memory. Che Guevara's ideological contributions extend beyond his actions as a revolutionary leader. His writings and speeches have left a lasting impact on revolutionary theory and praxis. Central to Che's ideology was the belief in the necessity of global revolution to combat imperialism and capitalism. His concept of the new man emphasized the importance of education, volunteerism and self-sacrifice among revolutionaries. Che's writings, including guerrilla warfare and his diaries from Bolivia and Congo, provide insight into his strategic thinking and his unwavering commitment to his principles. These texts are studied by political scientists, historians and revolutionaries, offering valuable lessons on the complexities and challenges of revolutionary movements. However, Che's ideological stance also included controversial elements, such as his support for armed struggle and his sometimes authoritarian approach to leadership. These aspects of his thought have sparked debate among scholars and activists, leading to a nuanced understanding of his contributions to political theory. Che Guevara is a figure who inspires deep admiration in some circles and intense criticism in others. His role in the Cuban Revolution and subsequent actions in Bolivia and Congo have made him a hero to many who see him as a champion of the oppressed. However, his endorsement of armed struggle and his involvement in the execution of war criminals and traitors during his time in power in Cuba have led others to label him a terrorist and a ruthless dictator. Critics argue that Che's methods were often brutal and contradicted his stated aims of liberating the oppressed. Supporters of Che argue that his actions must be viewed in the context of the existential threats faced by the Cuban Revolution and the extreme measures deemed necessary in revolutionary warfare. The debate over Che's legacy highlights the complex nature of revolutionary leadership and the moral quandaries involved in fighting systemic injustice. It also underscores the ongoing relevance of his life and work in discussions about the means and ends of social change. The legacy of Che Guevara remains potent and contentious, reflecting the enduring fascination with his life and polarized views on his actions. Whether viewed as a heroic revolutionary or a misguided terrorist, Che's impact is undeniable. His commitment to global revolution and social justice continues to inspire activists worldwide. Che's life story is a testament to the power of conviction and the impact one individual can have on history. His journey from a medical student to a key figure in the Cuban Revolution illustrates the complexities of adhering to one's ideals. Che's influence extends beyond historical events, resonating in contemporary debates about social justice and revolution.